Rune Bjåstad, Norvégia budapesti nagykövetségének tanácsosa, 2021. július óta tölti be ezt a pozíciót. Diplomáciai karrierje előtt 11 évig rádiós, majd televíziós újságíró volt a norvég nemzeti műsorszolgáltatónál. A norvég külügyminisztérium sajtó- és kommunikációs osztályán folytatta karrierjét. Néhány évig az európai ügyekért felelős norvég miniszter sajtószóvivőjeként dolgozott. Diplomataként Brüsszelben, Párizsban, Pozsonyban, Rómában és Rio de Janeiroban teljesített szolgálatot. 2 gyermek édesapja.
Being here and offering your insights about gender equality. That's our topic of discussion this afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. I'm first and foremost interested in is how was it when you were growing up within your family? I mean, what were the gender roles? Was it, father doing his thing, mother doing his thing? Was it equal, or how
Not
was
equal. It was different than now, very different. When I was a kid, my father had his work. He was a carpenter. When he came home, we had dinner. My mother always made dinner every day. And after dinner, he was entitled to have his well-deserved dinner rest. So me and my brothers were instructed not to disturb him. And nobody mentioned ever that my mother, she had also a full-time job in, keeping the house, washing, she took care of all, everything at home, including helping us with homework and stuff. So things have changed a lot since back then. I'm really, really lucky that I have, been able to experience fatherhood in a different way than my father had.
Was there a pivotal moment when you realized that things could be done differently, perhaps?
I don't recall one moment. I think that this actually just grew on me during the years. When I was reading books, experiencing other families, other stories from Norway and in literature, it's something that you just realize that there are different ways of doing it, and I think also that growing up on the rural part of Norway was different than growing up in Oslo. At least my wife has told me that it was totally another story in her family.
So she's from Oslo. She's a more urban kind of person.
True.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's quite interesting. You, as we said in the introduction, you used to work as a journalist. Did you cover issues of gender inequality or equality in your articles?
Well, I did, but not something that was especially important to me. It was one of many subjects that I covered. I used to work in radio and television and with all kinds of subjects, really. But it has always, in my personal life, that's always been important, and especially getting kids yourself is something that really shows you that it's important to give both sexes equal opportunities.
Can you recall those times when gender equality became a major societal and political issue as well? When they introduced the father's quota. When you started seeing in society that things are really emerging, things are really changing. Do you remember those times and how exciting or how unusual that was?
Yeah, I mean, we had a female prime minister in the 90s, Gro Harlem Brundtland, and I think that is something that really made a huge statement. It's not anything special, that a woman actually can reach the highest level in the country. And I don't think that it's possible to underestimate that kind of force, that kind of impact it has in terms of showing everyone that this is there's no limit to what women can do. There's no limit what men can do. I think it's something that everyone realized at that time. There was always, this development that has been in Norway regarding parental leave and equality is something that has gradually come. And in the 1990s, it kind of grew evident that it's possible, but it wasn't until later that it became law. That since 2018, I think we have had 15 weeks of father quota in the parental leave. And also having a 1 year parental leave, a paid parental leave, is quite unique, and it has, of course, given Norwegian fathers and mothers possibility to take part in their children's life in another way than it was in my youth.
Well, there's obviously, two sides to every coin. So sometimes we say gender equality means that finally women can enter the workforce, but it also means that husbands and fathers manage to spend much more time with their kids, much more time with their family than before. So they become, equal participants of family life, which they probably lacked before. So it's a very important aspect, and I'm just interested in finding out what kind of experience you have, say, of people of your generation or people your friends and perhaps family members, that this has been introduced and this is something that Norwegian society practices. How do they see it? I mean, are they thankful, grateful? Do they see its shortcomings? How is it?
I think it's hard to speak for everyone, but for me and all the fathers I know in my circle of friends, it's an enormous gift to have this opportunity. Why shouldn't two parents have the equal opportunity to get to know their children and being able to both spend time and to learn and to teach the children? It's a gift, and we are extremely lucky, I think, in Norway to have this opportunity and to be able to spend time with the kids and also to get to know them and to develop oneself as well, because you do grow into this role. It's not something that just comes like this and then you're a father. It's something that takes time.
Well, gender equality is also extremely well represented when we look at the legislative or a political side. Recently you had elections, and now the cabinet consists of almost an equal part of women and men, which is a very powerful statement. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we are, gradually getting better, even in Norway. There are still a lot of things to do in this respect, but having 47% of the parliamentarians a female representative is good, and it will be interesting to see how will the percentage be in the government that is coming in the next few days. We don't know that yet, but there is a chance that it will be good, I think.
Do you know of any further plans, further routes Norway is planning to take in the gender equality department?
I think we are on a good path, but in praxis, there's always more to do. And you know, we aren't at all 100% in terms of having equal wages for equal work, for example. There are differences still in Norway, and I think there is a lot of things to work on that sense as well.
So who does the ironing at home, Rune?
I'm actually quite good at it, but
wow.
I'm bad at other things. So, you know, there are, we cannot be equal. I mean, we cannot be the same, but we can have, you know, equal balance in terms of how much we have to do and how much we, you know, can do out of the home as well. I think that's the most important, not to do everything the same way or being alike. That's not possible.
I agree. I don't iron. So, well, thank you very much for your insight into Norwegian family life. We really appreciate it. Thank you.